Welcome to my channel, HFY Humanity. Let's begin.
My name is Ral. I am a bartender on Station Karto. If you have never heard of Station Karto, congratulations. That means you are either rich enough to avoid it, or smart enough. Karto floats at the edge of a shipping lane where laws arrive late and leave early. Smugglers drink here. Bounty hunters relax here. Occasionally a pirate comes in to complain about taxes. Yes, pirates complain about taxes. The universe is very funny. My bar is called the Rusty Nebula. The lights flicker. The music is too loud. The air smells like burned fuel, sour ale, and poor decisions. Perfect business environment. Tonight was normal. A three-armed trader named Viko argued with a tall insectoid named Kreev about cargo permits. Two miners from the ice belt were drinking something that could dissolve ship paint. A quiet woman named Sarah Chin sat in the corner booth, watching everything with the patience of a sniper. And me. I cleaned glasses and waited for someone to start a fight. That usually happens around the third drink. Then the door opened. Every head turned. Not because of drama, not because of danger, because the person who walked in looked wrong. Human. You might think that is normal. Humans are everywhere now. Ships, colonies, trade lanes. But humans do not come to the Rusty Nebula. Not alone, and definitely not looking that relaxed. He stepped inside like he had just entered a coffee shop instead of the most violent bar within 6 systems. Medium height, dark jacket, boots dusty from travel, short brown hair, calm eyes. He glanced around the room once, just once. Then he walked to the counter. I leaned forward. My 4 eyes studied him carefully. Human, I said slowly. He smiled. Good observation, he replied. His voice was calm, friendly, like he had been here before. He sat on a stool and tapped the counter. What do you recommend? Behind him, Viko stopped arguing. Kreev's antenna lifted. The miners quietly pushed their drinks away. Everyone could feel something odd happening. It was like watching someone calmly sit inside a volcano. I cleaned a glass slowly. You are aware, I said, this establishment is not tourist-friendly. He nodded. Yeah, I noticed the welcoming committee. His eyes moved across the room again. Relaxed. Measuring. That made my stomach tighten. Humans usually act one of 2 ways here. Terrified or aggressive. This one acted like he was ordering lunch. What is your name? I asked. Tom. Just Tom. Of course. Humans love simple names. Before I could respond, a chair scraped loudly behind him. Viko stood up. Now Viko is large. 7 feet tall, muscles like cargo cables, 3 arms that can bend steel tools. He walked toward the human slowly. Bad idea. Very bad idea. But criminals are famous for making bad decisions. Viko leaned down next to Tom. You are lost, human. Viko said. Tom looked up. Oh? This bar is not for your species. Tom tilted his head. I didn't see a sign. Some of the customers laughed quietly. That was mistake number 1. Viko's 3rd arm slammed onto the counter. The metal dented. You think you are funny? Tom sighed softly. No, I think you're loud. Silence. The miners leaned forward. Kreev's antenna twitched with excitement. Sarah Chin did not move at all. That woman was interesting. She watched Tom like someone watching. A loaded weapon. Viko cracked his knuckles. You will leave. Tom shook his head. I just got here. Viko's patience ended. He grabbed Tom by the jacket collar. Now, here is something important about humans. Many species assume they are weak. Small frame, smooth skin, no claws, no armor. This assumption has ruined many evenings. Viko lifted Tom slightly. Off the stool. What part of leave did you not understand? Tom looked down at the hand gripping his collar. Then he looked back up. All of it. His tone changed, still calm, but colder. Even I felt it behind the bar. Viko growled and pulled him closer. Then I will explain. The next moment happened very fast. I saw Tom move. Actually, that is wrong. I saw the result of him moving. His hand snapped upward. 2 fingers struck Viko's wrist. A sharp crack echoed. Viko screamed. His grip released instantly. Before anyone reacted, Tom twisted, grabbed Viko's arm and pulled. The large alien flipped over the counter like a thrown crate. He landed hard on the floor behind me, 3 arms flailing, one definitely broken. My glasses rattled on the shelf. The entire bar froze. Tom calmly sat back on the stool. He adjusted his jacket. Then he looked at me again. So, what do you recommend? Nobody breathed. Even the music seemed quieter. I stared at the human, then at the massive alien groaning on the floor, then back at Tom. You just broke Viko, I said. Tom shrugged. He started it. Fair point. Across the room, someone whispered. Human, another voice replied nervously. Only one. Good question. Very good question, because humans rarely travel alone. Tom slowly turned on the stool. His eyes scanned the bar again. And for the first time, he smiled a different smile. The kind that makes survival instincts scream. I should warn you all, he said casually. Several patrons stiffened. Tom tapped the counter twice. I really did come here for a drink. Pause. Then he added quietly. But if anyone else feels brave tonight, his eyes gleamed slightly. Please form a line. No one moved. But in the far corner of the bar, Sarah Chin finally spoke. Her voice was soft, amused. Well, she said, lifting her glass, this just got interesting, and unfortunately for the entire station, she was absolutely correct. The Rusty Nebula had gone completely silent. That is a rare event. Normally someone is shouting, breaking furniture, or accusing someone else of stealing cargo. Silence only happens when something extremely dangerous appears. Right now, that dangerous thing was sitting on stool number 4, Tom, the human who had just turned Viko into a cautionary tale. Behind my counter, Viko groaned and attempted to sit up. One of his arms bent in a direction nature never intended. I slid a bottle away from him before he accidentally smashed it with his face. Stay down, I told him. Good advice. He ignored it. Across the room, the tension thickened. Kreev, the tall insectoid, slowly stood, his long limbs unfolded like metal scaffolding. His eyes were focused on Tom with uncomfortable curiosity, not anger. Curiosity. That is worse. Curiosity leads to experiments. Tom noticed him immediately. He leaned slightly toward me. Friend of yours? He asked quietly. No, I replied. That is Kreev. Tom nodded once. Should I be worried? I stared at the insectoid. Kreev was known across 3 systems for bounty hunting. Efficient, quiet, extremely violent when required. Yes, I said. Tom sighed again. Busy night? Kreev walked forward, slowly. Each step made a light tapping sound on the metal floor. His voice came out sharp and precise. Human. Tom turned slightly on the stool. Bug. Several customers choked, trying not to laugh. Kreev did not appreciate humor. You injured Viko. Tom nodded. He grabbed my jacket. A poor decision, Kreev replied. Tom pointed at him. Finally, someone reasonable. Kreev tilted his head. I wish to test something. The miners immediately slid their chairs backward. Sarah Chin took a calm sip of her drink. Tom rested his elbow on the counter. What kind of test? Kreev's mandibles clicked. Your species has reputation. Tom scratched his chin. Oh, that reputation? Kreev leaned forward slightly. Are humans truly as dangerous as the reports claim? Tom considered the question seriously. Then he shrugged. Depends on the human. Kreev raised one long arm. 4 blades extended from his wrist. The sound was sharp. Let us measure. Several patrons began moving toward the exit. I grabbed another glass and pretended to polish it. If you run a bar long enough, you learn to continue working while disaster unfolds. Tom slowly stood from the stool. He rolled his shoulders once, then he pointed at Kreev's blades. Those look expensive. They are. Would be a shame if they broke. Kreev attacked fast, faster than most eyes could track. His blade arm sliced toward Tom's chest. Tom stepped sideways. Simple, casual. The blade cut empty air. Kreev struck again. 2 arms this time. Tom ducked. A third strike came toward his head. Tom leaned back so far his spine looked impossible. The blade passed 1 centimeter from his nose. The bar watched in frozen shock. Tom straightened again. Okay, he said casually. My turn. His fist moved. I did not see the punch clearly. I heard it. A dull impact. Kreev flew backward across 3 tables. Tables shattered. Chairs flipped. The insectoid slammed into the far wall and collapsed in a pile of limbs. Nobody moved. Nobody blinked. Tom flexed his fingers slightly. Yep, he said. That reputation sounds about right. Behind me, Viko finally lost consciousness. Probably wise. At the corner booth, Sarah Chin slowly clapped twice. Not loudly, just enough to be heard. Tom turned toward her. Oh, good, he said. The quiet one speaks. Sarah stood and walked toward the bar. She moved with controlled balance, the kind soldiers and hunters develop after surviving too many bad situations. She sat 2 stools away from Tom. Impressive, she said. Tom nodded politely. Thank you. I leaned closer. Sarah, I said quietly. Please do not start anything. She smiled faintly. I am not stupid, Ral. Good. That was comforting. She looked at Tom again. You travel alone? Tom thought for a moment. Technically, yes. Sarah tapped her glass on the counter. Technically? Tom smiled. Depends how you define alone. Several people near the door suddenly looked nervous. Sarah leaned back. I heard humans travel in teams. Sometimes. And the rest of your team? Tom casually pointed upward. Docked above the station. My stomach tightened. Sarah raised an eyebrow. Ship? Tom shook his head. No. Pause. Fleet. The word hit the room like a dropped engine. Several patrons ran for the door immediately. Sarah stared at him carefully. You brought a fleet here. Tom lifted a finger. Small fleet. How small? Tom counted in the air. 6 destroyers. 1 carrier. Support ships. Nobody in the bar spoke. Sarah let out a slow breath. That is not small. Tom shrugged. I told command I was just getting a drink. I nearly dropped a bottle. You are military? I asked. Tom looked at me. Retired. Pause. Mostly. Outside the station hull, faint vibrations hummed through the metal. Ships arriving. Lots of ships. Somewhere in the distance, station alarms began quietly activating. Sarah chuckled softly. You walked into the most dangerous bar in this sector. Tom nodded. Seemed like a good place. She pointed at the unconscious Kreev. And if someone had killed you? Tom leaned back. Then he smiled that same dangerous smile again. The fleet would have been very upset. The station alarms grew louder. Tom finally looked at me again. So? He tapped the counter gently. About that drink. I stared at him for a long moment. Then I placed a glass in front of the most terrifying customer I had ever served. What will it be? Tom grinned. Something strong. I poured the strongest thing in the building, because when one human walks into the wrong bar, the smart bartender pours the drink.